You're the one who did that? That was him. He did it.
All these diamonds on me got me shining. I'm blowing on so faded, perfect timing. All these diamonds on me got me shining. I'm blowing on so faded, perfect timing.
I thought since I haven't been in Houston for like a year yet, you know, I would tell you guys this super interesting story, okay? This man that we're talking about today, no, we're going to start as a baby, and it's not that I'm taking his like side or anything, but like just listen, okay? Because a lot of times when people turn into these like crazy whatever, they always have this super sad backstory. August 1st, 1960, this lady and this man, I'll put like a thing underneath so you guys can see what I'm talking about, okay, or like know what I'm saying. So August 1st, 1960, Virginia Rendices. I'm not good with names, okay? People aren't good with my names. It's just a life lesson. She ended up having a baby and never married a husband. She named her baby Angel Maturino. I'm not Hispanic, so I don't know. She ended up having this cute little small baby because they said he was really small. They said he really wasn't like that big or anything like that. I'm guessing premature maybe, but I don't know. I really couldn't find that much information. Like when I was looking it up, there was a lot of what happened when he was older, but not so much when he was a child. So fast forward, he is living with his mom, okay, and his mom ended up being like physically abusive, like a lot of the time. And I don't know if it just got too bad or like what happened, but he ended up having to move with his mom's brother, right, his uncle. It kind of just all went downhill from there, right? So you go through like one trauma, then sadly you go to like another trauma. Now, when he lived with his uncle, he ended up getting raped by his uncle. I'm not sure if it was multiple times. I didn't want to really go into detail. The local pedophile, I guess whoever he was at the time, ended up raping him too. So this boy just went through like so much freaking stuff. Or I don't know about raping him, but I know he like sexually assaulted him. So I'm guessing it was like something that like stuck in his head, because it just kind of, you'll see when the story goes on, it's like, crap, this stuff really stuck with him, didn't it? Eventually he ended up like running away. I don't know if it was like running literally or he just got up and left. But at the age of 11, he like ran away from his uncle's house, right? I wouldn't be able to deal with that either that much. That's a lot to deal with for like a child. He ended up living on the streets for a couple of years, and on the streets he took up glue sniffing. And I was talking to I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was telling them about that, like, holy crap, like this boy ended up taking up glue sniffing, whatever that is, you know, like I don't know. So the person I'm talking to was like, man, that can like mess your brain up chemically or whatever. There's something in there that will like mess your brain up if you do it. So I'm like, oh crap, like maybe this is why he did all the things that he did. And yeah, it's just super messed up to know, like, not only did he go through this trauma, I think his brain probably went through some type of shit too. He eventually moved back with his mom and like his 6 siblings. I guess he had like other siblings. I know he had like a favorite sister, and we're going to get into that later. But she ended up helping with like the search for him, because there was like a nationwide manhunt for this man. He was living with his mom, you know, for a couple of years or a little while, however long it lasted. And he tried to enter Texas a couple of times, which is why we're going to do a story on it, because I live in Texas now. This is a horrible story, but it's still, I live here. He tried to move to Texas a couple of times. I guess he tried to like cross. Is there like a border? So I'm not into like geographics and national whatever. He ended up trying to come to Texas a couple of times, right? And they were like, no, like you're going back. So every single time he tried to come here, he was deported. Like, you would think that was like a red flag. Like, you know what? I'm gonna pass on that, right? Like, maybe I shouldn't be going there. Like, it never works out. Maybe I need to stay where I'm at, but I don't know. Apparently, it didn't work out. This is where the glue snipping came in at least to me. I don't know. I'm just taking a wild guess. Okay, so finally, somehow he was able to like come to Texas, and when he came to Texas, he worked at a few places. He picked oranges in California for the harvest. It's called the Harvest Rice of Texas. He ended up like picking oranges for them. Finally, he went to Kentucky. He worked for a tobacco field, and that is how I guess he was able to like kind of be here for however long he was here. That was like the thing. And then eventually he started working to pick oranges. See, I was just ahead of the time. I put my foundation on really fast because I know this story is long. So this man actually was linked to 15 murders in Texas. This is Texas, okay? 15 in Texas. Mind you, he lived in like Florida, I think, or something like that, and like Kentucky. Like, this man was in freaking Mexico, okay? That's where he was born. Like, we don't know how many murders. And he lived in Peruba with his mom for like a couple years. So it's like, was that your first one? Most of the time they get caught after a little while because they start to get sloppy and they mess up or whatever. You know, you don't have luck forever. It doesn't last forever. There was a lady named Claudia Benton. She was in her house, okay? She was at home. It's December 16th. And she is like getting ready for a presentation. Her daughters, I believe, are like upstairs. I think she had like just put them to bed. It's super freaking Angel here decides he wants to break into this house because it's near a railroad. Mind you, he is the serial killer, the railroad killer, okay? This is his nickname. So he breaks into this house, and Miss Benton is on the couch sleeping because she's practiced for a freaking presentation that she has to do the next day, and she's had a long day. She's got her twin daughters, you know? Like, she's got a lot. Her twin daughters were in 6th grade. You know, you have to help them with homework. You have to do a lot of stuff, all right? All kids require stuff. That's probably why I don't have them yet. Yeah, she's like on the couch sleeping. Mr. Angel here, Mr. Railroad Killer, decides he wants to go into the kitchen, grab a freaking knife, come back into a kitchen knife, by the way, a freaking kitchen knife. You didn't even come with your own knife. Were you not prepared? Did you not prepare yourself? So he goes into the kitchen, grabs this kitchen knife, comes into the living room, sees her dead asleep on the couch, I guess wakes her up, rapes her. Could you imagine how traumatizing that is? Like, to be woken up and then somebody like rapes you, I guess like with a knife, because that's like what he had it for. And after like raping her, he grabs some type of 2-foot tall bronze object. I don't know if it was like a trophy or something, and starts beating her with it, okay? And then I guess after she didn't die, because like she has kids, maybe she has something to live for, you know? After that, he grabbed the knife that he came in there with, remember? And literally stabs this lady multiple times until she dies. What has she done to you? You came and got what you wanted. Freaking weirdo. I guess he like robbed the house and took stuff from the house because that's what people do. I'm guessing, or I've been told, I don't know. Anyways, he literally robs a house, leaves out, and he actually takes her Jeep, okay? He takes her Jeep, and yeah, and like a bunch of the things that are like valuable in the house. Mind you, the daughters are upstairs. You know how freaking traumatizing that would be? A lot of people do these stories, and I've never heard a story about this man. And I can see why, okay? So police got to the scene. I don't remember how. Maybe the husband found her or something. When they got to the scene, they said it was the worst, the most shocking, like, freaking scene they had ever seen, like, ever. like they had ever seen. That was what initially got them caught. I guess they end up finding evidence in the house. You know how they like tell everybody like leave the house and we have to search everything. That I guess is how they ended up like finding DNA and like stuff all over the house from this man. Mind you, he went in the kitchen to grab the knife. Okay, you messed up right there, buddy. You should have came with your own. Yeah, so that's freaking sad as crap. Anyways, he was linked, like I said, to 15 murders. His first known murder was in Mexico. He supposedly killed a homeless man and woman in Mexico. And then I guess when he came here too, he ended up having his first murder, which was the 33-year-old Michael White in Kentucky. And he beat him to death with a freaking brick. With a brick, okay? You've gotta be a heartless freaking person to beat someone to death with a brick. He married Juliet, and they were married and lived together for 5 years. And they actually had a daughter. I won't name her because I feel like she had nothing to do with it. I mean, not even the mom, but like the daughter has nothing to do with it. So the wife, Juliet Dominique Reyes, am I saying it right? She was a lab analyst in the Rodeo Republic Health Clinic, and she never missed a day at work. They had a great life, but I'm guessing it wasn't enough for Mr. Angel, because this man decides he wants to kill people and rape them and murder them. There were 7 known victims that he decided he wanted to, you know, get jiggy with. And yeah, there was Christopher Mayer, Holly Dunn, Claudia Benton, which I talked about, Norman and Karen. I think they were also boyfriend and girlfriend, or like they were married. So August 29th, 1997, in Lexington, Kentucky, a man had been beaten to death while walking with his lady. Now, the lady survived. She said that they had been walking, Mr. freaking immortal god of death or whatever the freaking, he considered himself an immortal avenging god. Angel bursts out the bushes and goes to the couple and asks him like, do you have any money? And the couple's like, no, we don't have any money. I guess they tried to like offer him something else, you know, like here, because they were like college students. So they tried to offer him something else and he just wasn't for it. Like he didn't care about that. So he ended up taking the man's backpack off. He had a knife in his hand, okay? That's when I guess he finally like revealed his knife to them. And the lady said she was so freaking petrified and just kind of froze up, and she didn't realize exactly what was happening because she was in like survival's mode or something like that. What's that called when you're in like a traumatic and like thing and you just kind of freeze up? I guess that's what she had been going through. He was like digging through the pockets, and he was, like I said, he just was tying him up, and I guess like making sure. He laid him down on the ground and he picked up some type of big rock or something. She said it was so big that he was carrying it, and it looked so heavy. Like he had to like carry it like a baby with 2 hands. He took the rock and just started freaking throwing it down on him, you know? Like, why? She said that he did it, I guess, so many times or something like that. At the end, because she was just like sitting there petrified, I guess he had her tied up too. I don't really remember if she said that, but I'm guessing because she just was like sitting there. She said that her boyfriend made some gargling noise, and she didn't know it until like later on, but it was the last breath that he like took, and that was like the end of life breath. That noise that he made was just the end of life breath. And I guess he stabbed her in the neck. No, I'm sorry, he stabbed her in the neck, then he raped her. So it's like, why would you rape somebody with blood? And she actually survived. So I'm sorry, I shouldn't be happy about this story. She survived. That's what counts. And she was able to live to be able to tell her story. And I was watching it. It just was the saddest thing, because she looked like she wanted to like break down and cry while she was telling the story. They were college students. She said it was like really hard for her to like focus after what happened, which like I think we would all say that, because that's super traumatizing. Like, who wants to watch something like that? Mr. Angel here wasn't that smart, okay? He wasn't that smart. He had a 7th grade education, because remember, he ended up like running away when he lived with his uncle. This man left so much freaking evidence at these crime scenes that they like literally were like looking for him. Everybody was looking for him. There was like a nationwide manhunt just to find this man. So ridiculous. Like, why run away? Like, no, just come face what you did. People were like traumatized if they lived near a railroad. Like I said earlier, like they were scared to live near a railroad because all of these like things kept happening to people that live near a railroad. So like any sane person, you'd be freaking traumatized too. Maybe he took a break after he had a baby, but apparently not, because he just kept going. His wife's like, he's like the best man I've ever known. This is my heart. I would have never guessed this out of my husband. Bull crap. I'd be like, hey, what you doing? Why are your clothes looking like that? Give me your clothes. Let me wash them for you. You know, we lived together for 5 years. Let me do something for you. But yeah, I guess because she was like a lab analysis, she like didn't pay attention to stuff like that. You think you pay a little attention to detail, wouldn't you? And the police are like, yeah, ma'am, he's a devil. Like, give us your man, give us your husband, ma'am. We just want him. That's all. Instead, they reached out to, guess who? His favorite sister. His favorite freaking sister. Her name was Manuela. And they're like, hey, Manuela, we need you to give your brother up. We kind of need him in jail. So like, mind you, there was a $50,000 reward out on this man. That didn't even last for long because they bumped it up to $125,000 after like just a couple days. That's how badly they wanted this man. Like, they wanted this man off the streets and gone. So they're like, Manuela, we need you to turn him in, right? He's going to have everything. He's going to have his civil rights. He's going to have rights to visitations. He's going to have a psychological evaluation done because we feel like he needs that. He's going to have a place to sleep because it's a jail. Also give him personal safety because you know they want to kill him. Everyone wants this man dead. So we're going to guarantee all that if you turn your brother in to us. So she's like, whatever. You promise you're not going to kill him? You promise, say a swear. And they're like, yeah. We're not going to do anything to him. Just bring him on in. So I guess she like contacted her brother and was like, hey, listen, the police want you to offer a really good deal. They said if you come in, everything will be great. I just need you to go in. July 19th, 1930 comes around, and guess who turns himself in? It's Angel, the goddess of death. Railroad killer man, immortal god. He's at the International Bridge in El Paso, and they're like, hey, you coming in? And he's like, lock me up, send me out, throw away the key. So now everyone's like, thank God, he's turned himself in. Like, we can live. You don't have to be afraid to live near railroad tracks anymore. We're gonna be alive. And yeah, that's initially how they got him to turn himself in. Because of the evidence that they collected, August 29th, 1990, when he killed that man in Kentucky, yeah, it totally matched. It matched like all of the crime scenes everywhere. Okay, little Angel here didn't do a good job of hiding himself or even trying to make it seem mysterious that he was there, because all of the evidence was all over the place. May 20th, 2000, they're like, hey, court's here, you're going in, buddy. He ended up going to court, and he was found guilty of the murder that took place December 16th, 1998. That was initially like the most important, I guess that was like the most important murder. It's like that. They ended up literally sentencing him to lethal injection. Oh, and by the way, he also worked as a illegal immigrant body passer. Is that what they do? Chain passer person. What do you call the people that take the people from Mexico to America? Wait, never mind. What do you call the people that take people over the border? That's what he was. He was one of those people. And then he would eventually, like, as soon as he like got them back over here, or like whatever, when he went back, he would like take a car from like Mexico, and they paid this man $400 per body that he took over there. Imagine how much money this man had. That's why he was able to take care of freaking makes sense. Anyways, he did that for a couple years. I guess maybe it got boring, who knows. He would take cars from Mexico to America to exchange them for US dollars because it was more, and that was one of the things he did also. I forgot to mention that. Okay, so this is why we said we don't really know where he was. I mean, besides like the few states I named, we don't really know. Now, his last words, I'm going to read them because this is like quote. This is his final quote from him. Everyone was jam-packed in this court date, right? All of the families, because they're like, this man has to freaking go. All right, we don't want to see this man alive anymore. So everyone's packed in at the court date. Now, I guess a reporter was talking to Claudia Benton's husband, the one he like murdered and stabbed 39 times, by the way. And they were like, hey, George, what do you think about this man in here? And they're like, George is like, he's not a man at all. That is a living, breathing devil. At his death day, is that, okay, never mind. At his lethal injection day, at his day of execution, the state of Texas were the ones that executed him. He was executed by lethal injection at the state penitentiary in Huntsville. And that was June 27, 2006. So before his death, you know, when they asked for the final words, Mr. Angel, Railroad of Death Killer man, stood up and said, I want to ask if it is in your heart to forgive me. If you don't, you don't have to. It's okay. I know that I allowed the devil to ruin my life. I just ask you forgive me and ask the Lord to forgive me for allowing the devil to deceive me. After he thanked God, and then he said, I don't deserve to cause you this pain, as much pain as I've caused you, but I do deserve what I am getting. That was like his final words. And then for his last meal, he didn't even want that last meal. He was like, no, you know, maybe he was contemplating, maybe he didn't want to like SHIT himself. Maybe he didn't want to like, what the heck? How long was that lipstick on there? Maybe he didn't want to like himself or something, because he was like, I don't want anything to eat. No, thank you. The husband was like interviewed because he was there at the execution day. Like all of the families were there at the execution day. And I guess they like interviewed the husband, remember Claudia Benton's husband? And they were like, what do you feel about it? And he was like, what was executed today may have looked like a man, walked and talked like a man. What was contained inside of that skin was not a human being. This is not human behavior. But something I can say is evil, contained in human form. Creature without a soul or conscience, no sense of remorse, no regard for human life. That was literally what he said at the funeral. So, yeah. Mr. Angel here was executed by lethal injection. He was like this super famous freaking railroad killer man and got away with it for so long, or got away with it for a couple years. His daughter, I'm not really sure about her daughter. I really didn't want to look into it because I don't want to like go into like her privacy or anything, but like that's some like sad stuff right there. Like you have to be known by that name. I have to go get dressed, but let me know how that story was, and if it freaked you out, I apologize. But I thought it was a very interesting story, partly because I just moved to Houston a couple months ago. But yeah, that's the really messed up story that I have today for makeup. Make sure that you watch out for who you date. And if you live in Texas, I live here too. So I am going to do more stories, and I feel like it's more this way. Is that? feel really bad for his daughter because she, you know, has to like live with that. I forgot to also add that he spent 11 years in and out of prison. So it's like, forget it. Just let him do what he wants to do. Guys, ladies, gentlemen, boos, bays, whatever. See you guys later. And you're welcome for this story. Okay, adios, muchachos. Peace.
It was worth it. I'm up whatever you with. If you got an issue, you know we can solve it.